Okay, guys. I usually try to avoid stuff like this, but this is just my opinion about the matter. Alright. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. Okay. Let's start with the first one. And then we'll make sure I'll end up coming back around to the all lives matter. Okay. First up, Black Lives Matter. I understand the movement. I understand why people are trying to start it. I understand there have been, African American people who have been killed by law enforcement. Some unjustified, but the majority of them, the officer was justified. Whether you think so or not, if no charges were brought against him from a grand jury to indict him on any kind of criminal charges, he was justified. And don't think that a thorough investigation wasn't done, because it was. I can promise you it was. There was. No doubt about it. A thorough investigation was done to ensure that the use of force that was used was justified. So, you're looking at, okay, let's go for example, Ferguson, Missouri, the whole Mike Brown case. Due to incorrect eyewitness statements, it was said that Mike Brown had his hands up when he was shot, and he was shot in the back. Okay, cool, whatever. That's not the point that I'm getting to. But when you had a coroner and when you had a medical examiner do an autopsy, and he established that was all incorrect, and then I think the FBI had a medical examiner come in and do an autopsy as well, and he established the same thing the first medical examiner established. Then the family had a third party come in, and he was incorrect with his findings. Hence the reason why he's in trouble for falsifying his findings. But this ain't even about him. Everybody was so mad because a black male was killed by an officer who was justified after the subject attacked him in his vehicle and attempted to take his firearm from him. And don't say, you might say I'm making this up. This is everything that was reported from the findings of that investigation. The initial struggle started while that officer was inside his vehicle. The first shot that hit Mike Brown was to the hand. In close proximity. So how was that possible if he was running away with his hands up? That does that. Okay, so back to the overall subject of Black Lives Matter. If Black lives truly mattered, why is it that more black people are killed by other black people than any other race? all these gangs out here, Bloods and Crips and GDs and everything like that out here, not just killing rival gang members, but killing innocent fucking people. You know, doing drive-bys and hitting innocent bystanders, you know, children and, you know, old elderly people who are just happen to be outside, all because you're beefing with some folks that ain't from the same set you run with. If Black Lives truly mattered, that shit would stop, and black people would stop killing each other. And that's real talk. So, you want to say Black Lives Matter? Okay, cool. Stop killing each other, and Black Lives may actually matter. And don't say that, oh, we're being held down by the man. You have a half African American president. What is holding you back from doing anything like that? The answer to that is yourself. Until you change yourself and the way you think, you will continue to stay exactly where you are. You will continue to do the same thing that you're doing now. If you're constantly complaining about all the trouble you're getting in because you're hanging out with your friends, guess what? Maybe that tells you you need to change the company that you keep. And I can tell you from experience, I was associated with stuff that I wasn't even doing just because of the people that I used to talk to and hang out with. And it made me realize, okay, well, this is what people are thinking just because I'm kicking it with these people. So what I did was I let them know straight up, man, we're cool and all, it ain't no beef or nothing like that, but I'm being associated with the things that you do, and even though I'm not doing those things, I'm guilty by association. I was like, so we're still cool, I'll still holler at you every now and then, but as far as like overall hanging out all the time, I'm gonna have to cut that out because I don't want people to think that I'm doing stuff that I'm not supposed to do, and I know for a fact that I'm not doing what they think that I'm doing. And everybody that I had to pretty much cut off like that, they were like, nah man, I understand completely. It was a choice that I made, but I was man enough to face whatever they were gonna say. Oh man, you a little bitch, man, you scared of this? Nah, I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't want to be associated with something negative that I'm not doing. Now if it was something that I was doing, okay, fine, whatever, you can put my name all in it. But since I wasn't doing it, I didn't want my name dropped with that kind of stuff. So I changed who I hung around with. I started hanging with more positive people, started getting involved with more things to change my perception and the perception that other people had of me. And it worked. Hell, even when I did security for Walmart, here I am walking around, jeans, a t-shirt. I had stretched ears at the time, all the way up to 1 inch. And tattoos on my forearm, on my upper arm, and on my leg. Everybody thought that I was just some dude walking around Walmart thinking, this dude's in here all the time, up to no good. Like, I don't see what the fuck he's doing. But then when they found out what I actually did, they were like, I'm really surprised. Like, you don't look like you would do that kind of work. I just assumed. When you start assuming, you make an ass out of you and me. You know what I'm saying? So, if Black Lives Matter, black people as a whole have to change. And the only way that that's going to happen is if each individual changes the way that they operate. I'm not saying you have to become some stuck-up, you know, person that you know, wants to be white or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is change the way you operate. Change the way you speak. Instead of speaking with all this slang and everything like that, try having an educated conversation. I mean, it's really not that hard. It's extremely simple to get this perception that people have of black people changed. I mean, if you hang around with the same people doing things that are doing things that are illegal, and you know better, when you get locked up for it, the only person you can blame is yourself. You had the opportunity to walk away from it all. I'm not saying you have to turn your back on your friends, your family, because that's not the case at all. I'm saying you have to make the decision to stay away from the negativity. Increase the positivity within your own life. And I know it's possible because, like I said, I've done it myself. So, that's my thoughts on Black Lives Matter. Now, for the All Lives Matter, all lives do matter. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Jewish, Islamic, all lives do matter. Now, when somebody makes the conscious decision to oppose any kind of harm to you or your family, by all means, do it. Hell, you have to do what you have to do to protect you and yours. Because I know for a fact that I would. My family means the world to me. My friends mean the world to me. And I would do just about anything for them. I wasn't sure if he was going to get the fuck out the road there. But most people I don't even know exactly how to say it. Most people just don't. Most people have a one-track mindset. They think everything is. They have a overpowering mindset of self-entitlement. Like things are owed to you. Nothing in life is owed to you. Nobody owes you anything. There's only one guarantee in life, and that's death. So, going around saying Black Lives Matter like they're the only lives that matter is ridiculous.